Cathy Engelbert, in this long drawn-out article, goes on and gives herself credit for why the WNBA has finally entered some type of mainstream conversation.
The numbers speak for themselves, but it seems like commissioners aren't being honest. Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever are the ones lifting the WNBA into the spotlight, yet Commissioner Cathy Engelbert is acting like it's all thanks to her. She's taking credit as if she taught Clark to shoot from deep. It's shocking, almost laughable, how boldly she's claiming the spotlight. Even corporate execs would be embarrassed by this level of credit stealing.
The Indiana Fever's matchup on Friday versus the Sun drew 851,000 viewers, becoming the most viewed WNBA game on ION this season despite Caitlin Clark's absence.
Let's start with the facts, the kind that would make a mathematician tear up with joy. The Indiana Fever vs. Chicago Sky game on May 17, 2025, averaged 2.7 million viewers on ABC. That's not just a number, it's a cultural shockwave that shook TVs across the country. The game peaked at 3.1 million viewers, making it the most watched WNBA regular season game in 25 years. 25 years. That's longer than some of the players have been alive. And yet, here comes Engelbert, acting like she just invented the wheel.
It seems like the Indiana Fever are still having big numbers, according to ION, even when Caitlin Clark is off the floor. And honestly, it looks like the trajectory of the viewership for the WNBA in its entirety is starting to go in the right direction. We're about to get into it, but before we do that, y'all make sure y'all hit the thumbs up for your boy.
But here's where it gets juicier than a reality TV finale. This wasn't some magical mix of perfect timing and league-wide brilliance. This was the Caitlin Clark Show, plain and simple. Out of the 23 WNBA games that topped 1 million viewers last season, 21 featured Clark and the Fever. Let that sink in. 21 out of 23. That's not a coincidence, that's a phenomenon with a name, an address, and jersey number 22.
Anyone who watches the WNBA can see that they do not want Caitlin Clark to succeed. They want the New York Liberty to be the team that is the face of the organization.
Caitlin Clark is essentially getting blackballed in the WNBA.
Since she was a rookie. And it's infuriating. Right now, she's injured. If she's not playing, they're losing crazy amounts of money. And so it's crazy to me that the league itself and everyone involved at the higher ups would do these things to sabotage the Indiana.
Meanwhile, Engelbert is out here giving interviews like she's the mastermind behind some long-term business master plan. She's telling reporters she's been preparing for this moment for years, talking about a massive league transformation. Transformation? Please. The only real transformation happening is Caitlin Clark turning empty arenas into sold-out events, while Engelbert stands on the sidelines with a clipboard, pretending she drew up the play.
That confidence in a business model that's going to work and is sustainable, which is what I've been brought in to do. It's, you see the benefits of that, the returns of that, and then you see, an athlete, a generational athlete like Caitlin. I analogize it to the Tiger Woods effect in golf.
Yeah.
And just her followership and then the rivalry she came in with against Angel Reese and LSU, Iowa. And now Paige Becker's coming in from UConn off her championship. So, but we had great players for for a couple decades, but now I think with social media, with NIL, with them having brands when they come in and followership, and just the quality of the game. I can't say enough about that too.
If you're enjoying this, go ahead and subscribe, because the contrast here is almost comedic. Caitlin Clark's preseason exhibition against Brazil at Iowa averaged 1.3 million viewers, a number only 2 NBA preseason games have matched since 2010. Meanwhile, other WNBA games are pulling in numbers that wouldn't fill a high school gym's bleachers. But does Engelbert acknowledge this disparity? Give credit where it's due? Not a chance. Instead, she's out there talking about capital inflows and corporate partnerships, as if Fortune 500 companies suddenly woke up with a newfound moral commitment to women's sports. Let's be real, they're not investing in the WNBA's business model. They're investing in Caitlin Clark. She's the marketing gold mine. They're buying stock in a singular talent who can sell out arenas and crash streaming platforms like it's magic. The 2025 WNBA draft offers another perfect example. It drew 1.25 million viewers, decent, until you realize it's only the second highest draft viewership ever. The highest? The 2024 draft, when Clark was selected, and it pulled in 2.45 million. Nearly double. See the pattern? And yet, Engelbert probably has that 2024 number framed on her office wall with a plaque underneath that says, "My achievement."
But the face is who the people pick. It don't matter what stats or what you talking about. Most watched games since Caitlin Clark has entered the league. Most of the top 15 games is all because of Caitlin. Mm-hmm. All because of Caitlin. That's how you know who's the face. Who sells the most? Who jersey sells the most? Who is people talking about the most? That's how you find out who the face is, not who got the best numbers. That doesn't mean anything. When one person plays and ticket prices shoot up, and then when they don't play, ticket prices plummet. That's the.
Let's talk attendance, the numbers that have Engelbert thumping her chest like a silverback gorilla who just discovered fire. Opening weekend of the 2025 season saw 89% of arenas near full capacity, with an average attendance of 8,487 across 8 games, a 36.7% increase from last year. Sounds impressive, right? But look closer. That spike? It's riding almost entirely on the back of the Fever Sky matchup. The rest of the games are inflating those stats like a resume padded with proficient in Microsoft Word under technical skills. Sure, the Golden State Valkyries sold out Chase Center, 18,064 seats, for their debut. But let's be real, that was debut fever, not sustainable fandom. Give it a few games without Caitlin Clark on the opposing roster, and you'll see crowds that make funeral homes look like Taylor Swift concerts. But you can bet Engelbert will still take credit, as if her business savvy personally convinced 18,000 people to buy tickets. What's truly maddening is how Engelbert stands by while the very player fueling all this momentum, Clark, gets tossed into the league's political meat grinder. She's taking flagrant fouls from Angel Reese, weathering hate from fans, and enduring relentless scrutiny, all while single-handedly carrying the WNBA's marketing efforts on her back. And Engelbert? Probably in a boardroom, walking investors through her four-pronged media strategy, taking credit for numbers Clark pulled just by stepping onto the court.
But Cathy Engelbert, in her naivete or in her delusion, she takes credit for it. Instead of saying it's because of Caitlin Clark, instead of saying it's because of the person from Iowa, instead of saying it was because of her, Cathy says, oh, it's all me. My strategy, my plan, my 3 pillars.
The commissioner likes to talk about multidimensional stakeholder groups and balancing billionaire owners, celebrity athletes, and TV executives like she's conducting a symphony. But let's be honest, Caitlin Clark is the symphony. She's the orchestra, the conductor, the venue, and the entire audience. Engelbert? She's the person in the lobby selling overpriced programs, and somehow taking credit for the music. ESPN viewership is up 170%, averaging 1.2 million per game. Teams sold 400,000 tickets in a single month. 21 games cracked over 1 million viewers, and 18 of those featured the Indiana Fever. 18 out of 21. If that doesn't scream Caitlin Clark effect, then Engelbert might need a hearing test, and maybe a reality check. The WNBA's first ever capital raise brought in $75 million at a $1 billion valuation, which Engelbert touts as a record-breaking moment for women's sports. She talks like she closed the deal with the financial wizardry of Warren Buffett. But let's be real, the truth would make a lie detector short-circuit. These investors aren't betting on her business model, they're betting on Clark. From Nike's $28 million endorsement to State Farm's marketing blitz, sponsors are tying their dollars directly to Clark's reach. One Fortune 500 executive put it bluntly, "We're buying into the Caitlin Clark experience, not the WNBA's business model."
What if I told you a rookie could generate nearly $1 billion for an entire sports league? The answer? Caitlin Clark herself. Caitlin isn't just playing basketball. She's transforming the WNBA. In 2025 alone, she's projected to contribute nearly $1 billion to the league's economy, accounting for over a quarter of its total activity. The Indiana Fever's attendance has actually skyrocketed to an average of just over 17,000 fans per game, which is actually more than the average of the Indiana Pacers. Anytime Caitlin Clark is on TV, it's an absolute media sensation. Just one of her preseason games drew more than 1.3 million viewers. Merchandise sales have surged by 243%, and she just signed a $28 million